All right. Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
And that's Nico. You can't see him because he's black
Yeah, he's
in
black
the
on black.
shadows and his eyes are closed. But trust me, there's a cat there.
I will have to trust you.
And today we're going to, there's a black cat up there too.
There is a white one.
So um, Trump signed an illegal executive order today, basically canceling Medicaid. And like, what it wasn't just Medicaid, it was federal payments to non-individuals or something along those lines. And it basically would freeze up payments to
grants.
Medicaid.
Yeah, it's federal. He's put a freeze on federal grants, is what he did, which could impact Medicaid.
Cancer research on children, anyone. It also leaves the SNAP program in limbo because it falls under some portions of the federal grants. So Gary and I both watched Belle at the Ranch, and she talked a little bit. She touched on that a little bit in her video this morning. That the Republicans are in Florida crafting a new budget, and to keep an eye out for their talking points, because that'll tell you what it is that they're trying to cut. Yep. And when Trump is putting a freeze on federal grants and it's impacting Medicaid and food and potentially SNAP, like food stamps and stuff like that, guess what he's going after?
Yeah,
he's going after poor people's health care and food programs that help people who are the poorest of the Americans.
Yep.
But certainly putting it, and I guess there's a portal that hospitals or doctors use for Medicaid payments, and it had a big old warning sign that due to Trump's executive order, they were going to take extra steps to ensure payments are made or something on those.
Process payments, yeah. It's called the Payment Management System, PMS. And there was a big red sign.
There's an unfortunate acronym.
It is posted in red on the PMS site stating, due to executive orders regarding potentially unallowable grant payments, PMS is taking additional measures to process payments. Reviews of applicable programs and payments will result in delays and or rejection of payments. Yeah, so, and it was, the PMS site was down in all 50 states, and they were just starting to be able to get back into the system in the afternoon today. So,
you said a federal judge blocked some portion of this?
Yeah, he partially blocked Trump's executive order on the freezing of federal grants.
Now, I think this money's already allocated by Congress, so it's probably not even legal to say you can't. He can't put a freeze on it. That money's already been approved.
Yeah,
but everything starting with J.D. Vance in the summer, talking about the Supreme Court. Yeah, well, if the Supreme Court gives an order, who's going to enforce it? Basically, what's going to stop us from doing whatever it is that we want to do? And this is an example of Trump giving an order that's clearly illegal. The White House lawyers are clearly failing in their job to prevent him from setting out illegal orders. And, where's the repercussions? There's no repercussions for it. Yeah. It literally is, go ahead, stop me if you think you can, because we're going to do this. But the legal system's just going to be under siege in this administration.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. I'm going to do just a general energy reading around around this executive order and find out what's kind of driving it on Trump's end, or driving it in general. I might get the reading on Trump. I might get the reading on the recipients. Entertainment purposes only. Welcome to your own new personal hell. Here he goes. New sheriff's in town, and we're going to do things the way I want to do them. And here comes the grift. How is he going to grift off this? But trust me, he's figuring out the reason why he's doing this. There's a grift involved. I don't know how the money's going to get. I don't. There's a grift involved with it. All I'm going to say is there's grifting involved with it. Um, in the past, he's trying to make getting health care as difficult as possible. He was never able to get rid of Obamacare and or Affordable Care Act. And he's going to go about doing it this time. And this is just, again, attacking like one of the core pillars of the Affordable Care Act, and entitlements and stuff like that. Current situation, he's being a bully. He's absolutely, it's a power move, it's a bully move to see who's going to take action against him. It really is baiting, because this card keeps coming up for the Republicans, and Michelle's going to be really upset about that. But it's like, what are you going to do to stop me? And the lesson to be learned is, the Supreme Court gave him a lack of criminal power. He can do no wrong in the Supreme Court's eyes, and he's going to fully exercise this. I do think, though, that with the Lovers card here, this is like this might become my Constitution card. The Constitution's still there, and it's going to put a stop, or at least greatly slow down these actions here. Yeah, greedy, mine, me, mine. Outcome is the Four of Coins. It's going to shut it down to a degree, but I don't think it's going to fully shut it down. It will lock it up in the courts for a bit, but he's breaking all the norms again. And we learned the first time that nobody is really stepping up to stand up to him and stand up for the Constitution and people. Before, he had his chief of staff, like General Milley or somebody along those lines, to basically say, you can't do that. Was it Milley? That wasn't Milley. It was the other general. I'm drawing a blank on his name. But he doesn't have that this time. He's surrounded by sycophants. Yes, man. All right, let's turn it over to you.
Oh, right on. Okay. So, what is the future of Medicaid and Social Security looking like?
Joy. We're not at retirement age yet, but darn it, we're getting close.
So close. Yeah, let's see. So, what is it looking like for Social Security and Medicaid for, let's say, those that will be retiring in the next 5 to 10 years? Or
what about the folks who are already retired?
That's true.
That's a bit more of an urgency, don't you think?
Okay, so we got the Seven of Pentacles. Sort of it can be reaping what you sow. It's okay. I've got all of this money in the future that I'm looking forward to, and it comes out a little at a time. Challenge. Oh, there you go. The challenge is the Two of Pentacles. This is kind of what they're doing in the budget right now, where you've got, on one hand, you've got the MAGA faithful demanding that Trump execute on all the campaign promises he said he was going to do. On the other hand, you've got the fiscal hawks who want to, reduce government spending, cut down the deficit, yada yada yada, and you can't do both. Unless you could get Mexico to pay for that wall, you're not going to be able to do both. Those migrants, they're just going to have to deport themselves because we just don't have the money to do it. Underneath it, you've got the Queen of Wands. There's a lot of activity going on behind the scenes. Underneath it, there's going to be a lot of court activity going on about this. Like Dave was saying earlier, he's just overloading the courts with these illegal executive orders. And and some of it's a diversionary tactic, and some of it is just, it's like David was saying, is they're just saying what can we get away with, and how are you going to stop us from doing what we want to do? In the past, the Wheel of Fortune in the past, it's probably, no one's ever, there's always been talk about, either extending the age to retire or cutting benefits. but there was no real direction. That wheel's just been spinning for years and years because the politicians know it's like a suicide pill if you try and cut someone's Social Security. That's a great way to not get elected again. Current energy, and currently it's the 8 of Wands. They're floating these ideas right now. There's a whole bunch of ideas that Trump is floating. Social Security, Medicaid, they're still on the table. They can do something with it if they want to. Right now, those are all those little thought bubbles that they throw out there to see how people are going to react. Overarching energy, the Knight of Pentacles, an offer will be made on this. Maybe there'll be some sort of offer to either make some token cuts or to maybe leave Medicaid and Social Security alone and take the cuts from somewhere else. Lesson to be learned, King of Pentacles. The oligarchs want their money. If you got the King of Pentacles, you got plenty of money. You don't need Medicaid and you don't need Social Security. You got plenty of money. This is something that isn't going to impact you. So you don't freaking care. Outcome. Outcome is the Four of Pentacles. Trump's going to be Trump. To me, the outcome is if Trump wants it, he's going to force it through.
Take a look at your cards and answer me this.
Yes.
One of the things Trump tried to do the last time was get rid of the Affordable Care Act, and he didn't get it done.
Yeah, he sure didn't.
And then they had the tax cuts.
Yep.
And then the second part of the tax cuts was that they were supposed to cut benefit or cut. So they lowered the taxes, but they were supposed to cut services, and they never got around to cutting the services.
Yeah.
So karma, spinning wheel. And now it's the second time around to cut services. It looks like he's going to try and move quickly to cut those services.
Yeah.
They didn't get it to the first time. What is the ultimate goal of the oligarchs when it comes to government programs? They like privatization, privatize Social Security, privatize healthcare. If you make Medicare or Medicaid so worthless, I'm sure some insurance companies will come in and it's like, oh, it doesn't work. We'll have to just send it to private insurance. I think this is just another end around to try and privatize, get rid of a government program and send it into the hands of oligarchs.
Lovely.
That might be what's play here. Yeah, exactly. Go Luigi, free Luigi. But I think you're going to start seeing a theme with that because the Republicans have been wanting to privatize the post office. And now they got DeJoy in there crashing the place into the ground. They've wanted to privatize Social Security for decades. Almost as since like the 90s, I think they've been wanting to privatize Social Security. So it wouldn't surprise me that they're trying to if they went down the route of trying to privatize Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I can kind of understand that because the way Social Security is, it's kind of like a pension program, is what it is.
Sure.
Where it's a defined benefit program, where if you earn this much money over X amount of time, you can do a calculation and you will get a payment stream on the other end. So all the risk and all the investment risk and everything is on the federal government. If you have a defined payment where like your 401k, the risk is on the person investing in the 401k, right? It's you decide how much you want to put in, you decide the asset investment portfolio, and then when you retire, that's the money you've got to retire. But most people don't have that sort of discipline to put the money voluntarily into 401k. Some people are really scrapping to make ends meet. It's not necessarily because they're foolish investors or they just want to go out to eat every night. It's that sometimes they just can't make ends meet.
Yeah, wages are not keeping up with
No.
cost of living. So imagine if they didn't have to pay, was it 6%, 7% of their paycheck to Social Security?
Yeah, it's like 7.5%.
It would immediately be squandered in their budget, just trying to keep up.
Yeah,
And they would never be able to retire. There'd be no money to retire with.
exactly.
And there aren't pensions to fall back on anymore. Social Security was put in there to prevent Granny from being thrown on the street back in the 40s, 50s, and such. So, it was meant to help provide some baseline amount of income, not live on it, but just some baseline that you could keep the lights on and some food on your table.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the Republicans like to call it an entitlement. It is not an entitlement. Every paycheck you pay in and your employer pays into this.
Yes.
That is your damn money.
Yep.
And the politicians have been going in there and raiding that like it's their own personal piggy bank.
I want to say it was right around the time of Reagan, I believe, that they, Reagan wanted the money taken out of put into the general fund, and the Democrats want it, the Republicans want it. It's funny, when all the politicians agree on something, it's usually a really horrible idea. The wars in Iraq were another one where they all agreed.
Yeah, that was certainly, Social Security is actually a very robust program if they keep their damn mitts off of it,
Exactly. But now there's nothing but IOUs in the vault.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no money in there.
Right.
Now it goes to the general treasury. Anything else you want to read on this?
No, not really.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching this video, supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe. We put out a new video at midnight every night. And leave a comment. I read every single comment out there, and I respond to a lot of them.
Do you respond to a lot of them, or are you just lying?
Well, I've developed a YouTube response bot. So does that count?
No, it doesn't. Why don't you give him a secret card instead to apologize for your
totally do that.
Tragic behaviors?
Today's secret card is the Ace of Cups. Yeah, you cut someone's Social Security and their Medicaid, there's definitely going to be an emotional reaction. There's going to be something new coming into your life, Mr. Trump.
Yeah, this is kind of where the find out portion is hit, where the rubber hits the road for the find out portion.
Well, you were mentioning on Marina's on Taco Tuesday. So every other Tuesday we do Taco Tuesday, which was tonight, which is Tuesday.
On Marina's Heart-Centered Tarot channel. Check it out.
But you were sharing a story on TikTok about this woman with 6 children.
Yeah, they're basically a woman who voted for Trump and owned the libs by voting for Trump. She is disabled, collects welfare, Section 8 housing supplements, has food, basically SNAP program for her and her 6 kids. Just got a notice today, or basically had her food stamp card turned off, and got a notice saying that she's not going to be able to collect benefits until she starts working 35 hours a week. And she was floored that this is happening to her. And it's kind of like, you voted for the guy in the party that said they were going to do this, and then you flexed on owning the libs for about 2.5 months, and now you're surprised that the guy who said he was going to do this went forward and did it? Welcome to the find out stage. Yep. It's unfortunate that people vote against their best interests, their self-interests, and they do it because they're more concerned about some trans person that they'll never meet being in the bathroom at the same time they're in there.
Yep.
Rather than the guy who says, yeah, we want to get rid of welfare. We want to get rid of food supplement programs and Head Start and stuff like that. And cut benefits and cut prescription cost-cutting programs. Well, congratulations. Now you find out. Maybe you'll make a better choice 2 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you, Marina, and I all had the same kind of reaction, which is, there is some sympathy and empathy. It's like, that's a real tough situation to be in.
Yeah, it's really not fair to your kids.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's like, but you did this to yourself.
Yes.
this is a consequence of your action, and maybe next time you will make a smarter decision. It sucks, like you said, it sucks your kids have to suffer because you didn't think this thing all the way.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to get scrappy and creative. And saying I'm not going to work is not scrappy and creative.
God, what's funny is, depending how old the kids are, having someone watch the kids might cost more than her going to work.
Well, that's what I was thinking when I was watching that. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hope you have family around. That, or you're going to have to start leaning on your neighbors. You got food banks. You're probably going to have to start hitting the food banks. Are you a member of your church? Maybe your church can help you. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to start getting real creative with. Mm-hmm. But, say goodbye to the apartment that you're living in because you're not going to be paying your rent pretty soon. I suppose you're going to learn about tenants' rights when you refuse to leave when you get evicted. But, yeah, those poor kids, they didn't ask for this.
Oh, hey, I've got a cat sighting.
Oh, which cat do you have? I've got Nico the black cat.
I've got Kakuna.
Kakuna,
the one that no one ever sees.
That's for good reason.
Yes, Kakuna.
Kakuna is like the night.
Hi, Coon. Hi, gorgeous. How are you?
That is Gary. She is Gary's human. Gary is her human.
Yes. Me and Kakuna, we're like that, man. That's my cat, and I'm her human.
That's right. All right, everyone. You've gotten your cat fix. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.